Welcome to Hoardganize with professional organizer Rachel Seavey. Every Sunday at 6 p.m., Rachel shares her expertise and compassionate approach to help you deal with overwhelming clutter. Rachel?
Hey collectors, welcome to the Hoardganize Podcast. I'm your host, professional organizer Rachel Seavey, and you are in the Survivor episode series. If you're just catching up, I've been discussing how being in your home makes me feel like I am on an episode of the TV show Survivor, navigating with no electricity, fighting over food with bugs and rodents. I'm talking really roughing it. Totally savage. At this moment, collectors, I have at least 15 flea bites going on, mostly on my legs and ankles, from a job that I was just on this week. Woohoo! My crew is all lathered up in cortisone too. We've been going through the tube very quickly these days. So the conditions you are living in are torrential. The mold, the dust, the infestations. Today, we are talking about probably the hardest part of living in the Land of the Hoard, the isolation. Have your living situations caused you to feel horrible about yourself? Well, if you didn't feel bad about yourself before the clutter, I know you do now. Do you feel like you're bad? Are you ashamed to have people over? Are you guilty for not taking care of your home? Are you sad that you can't have a normal house like everyone else? Do you feel like a failure? I know you feel isolated. Collectors, the isolation that you put yourselves through is worse than any Survivor episode because you have no rescue crew coming to save you. You've completely stranded yourself in the land of the Hoard. You're lost on Isolation Island. Would you even ask for help? Be honest, if there were a rescue crew in sight? I mean, what would they think about the way you're living? So, why not completely isolate yourself? You close all of the windows and you make yourself a dark cave so no one, not even the sunlight, can see your shame. You've completely shunned everyone out. And your home has become its own microcosm. It's its own island with its own chain of command in the food order. No running water, no electricity. Perhaps you feel like you've pushed the few people who have tried to help in the past away, and maybe no one wants to rescue you any longer. You're too far gone, and you feel completely isolated, not even worthy of a rescue, not knowing how to get yourself out of this mess. So you give in. You give in to the pain of isolation, longing for company, conversation, laughter, longing for the breath and touch of other humans, longing for eye connection, punchlines, awkward silences, sacred moments with friends. I have seen the contestants on the TV show Survivor break down in just a matter of days over the feeling of isolation. But somehow, collectors, you have survived in this place for years. You haven't allowed yourself to fall in love because you haven't let anyone over. You don't even feel worthy to be in love. You don't even give yourself a chance for love. You isolate yourself from love, and you isolate yourselves from self-love. You watch TV and everyone has perfect lives in their perfectly organized home with all of their perfect friends over for perfect times. So you turn off the TV, feeling depressed, feeling like you're missing out, feeling isolated. Do you wish you had the kind of home where people could come over and you could share good times? Do you wish you had the kind of home where you did not have to run in and shut the door as fast as possible behind you because, God forbid, the neighbors take a peek inside? Do you wish you had the kind of home where you could walk into your kitchen and grab a clean glass out of the cupboard and pour yourself a cup of water from the sink? Do you wish you could have the kind of home where you could walk into your bathroom and take a nice long bath? Do you wish you had the kind of home where you could open up the windows and let fresh air in on a hot summer night? Do you wish you had the kind of home where you could walk into your closet and immediately pick out something current that makes you feel beautiful? Do you wish that you could open up the door for anyone, including the mailman? After all, he knows you pretty well after all of those deliveries. The Land of the Hoard is a very lonely place, but it doesn't have to be. You can change your life and have the home that you've always desired. Here are 5 tips to help you feel less isolated in the Land of the Hoard. Tip number 1. Declutter your home. If you don't know where to begin, tune into my Where Do I Begin series, episodes 1 through 10, to learn how to declutter your home so that you can have repair people come in and make those necessary repairs. Once your home is decluttered and repairs have been made, you can start having people over. Tip number 2, listen to my Scratching the Surface series. This will help you understand how you ended up in the Land of the Hoard in the first place. Understanding why you ended up so isolated and lonely will help prevent you from feeling that way again in the future. Tip number 3, get out there and date. As I discussed in last week's episode, collectors need love too. And there are guys and gals out there that are in the same situation or that are understanding about your situation. You do not have to divulge everything on the first date, collectors. Go out, go on a few dates, and don't tell anyone about the clutter. Just go have fun. And maybe you won't even have any dates, but the experience of chatting online with new people is enough to make you feel like you're being social and less isolated. Tip number 4, go out to places with people. For example, existing friends, family, coworkers, neighbors. Go out by yourself. Go out and be social outside of your home until you can get your home together. You don't have to have it all or nothing. You don't have to have where you're not going out because you're not good enough to go out. You can have problems with your home and still go out and have fun. Stop punishing yourself by thinking that you aren't worthy. Tip number 5 for my shy collectors that don't want to go out and don't want to let people in, get a pen pal. Maybe it's online, maybe it's handwritten. There are lonely people out there too. Find people who like the same things as you do. Collectors, building friendships of any sort is super important for you so you're not cutting yourself off from the world. Don't isolate yourself. It really doesn't have to be like that. You do deserve to have human contact. Hey collectors, if you're listening to this podcast on YouTube, go ahead and show me some love by clicking that thumbs up button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys have to say. Until next time, collectors, and remember, happiness is a place between too little and too much.
This has been Hoardganize with Rachel Seavey. New episodes are available every Sunday at 6 p.m. and also on the Collector Care YouTube channel. Download Rachel's Affirmations for Collectors on iTunes or Amazon.com. Or sign up for Rachel's blog at collectorcare.com and receive 7 tips for clutter-free living. Thanks for listening.